Hey,
Okay,
Robbie.
we're live. Hey, how's it going now?
It's going well, man. It looks like we're going to have a good show. You and I are going to be doing this thing together. How are you?
Doing good. Old Farts and Drones here says, hey, Robbie, watch you for the first time last
You and I
week.
are going
I
to be
can stay
doing
on
this
a few
thing
minutes. I need
together.
to get
How are
a few
you?
open license. I understand, and thank you very much for staying. See, we got Ray Kelly, Bob Casey, Johnny Drone Flyer. So what's going on, everybody? I hear the weather's a little crazy here and there in different parts of the U.S. What about you, Al? How's the weather where you're at?
We had a wonderful weekend and turned south on us on Sunday, but it was like 60 degrees on Friday and Saturday. I got the chance to fly the Nano Plus. I believe the Nano Plus is probably the best mini drone on the market today. I mean, really good flyer, and the camera is outstanding. But then again, we're talking DJI Mini 2, almost 2 years old, so we kind of expect that. And comparing the video and the camera, I should say, instead of video, comparing the camera between the Mini Pro from Hubsan. This one is definitely a better drone. But this new firmware that came out this week, now we got 24 frames a second. So this is fantastic for the production type companies. If you have a production company, this is perfect for you. But not only that, with 24 frames a second, that allows the sensor to gather as much light as it can. So we're going to get better dynamic range, and we're going to get better low light capability. That's on top of the 1.8 f-stop on it. So I think
Right.
this is definitely the mini drone of the year until the Mini 3 comes out.
Right.
But at this point in
Well,
time,
let me ask you
this
this question. When this came out, everybody was trying to compare this to the Mini 2. Do you feel like the camera should be compared more towards the Air 2S than the Mini 2?
Yeah, I think it should be compared to the Xeno Pro, Mini Pro,
But as far
because
as as far as comparing between the DJI, because there's more
yeah,
DJI users.
yeah, no, they both kind of have the same issues that you can't control your aperture. The only thing you're going to be able to control is your EV and your shutter speed and your ISO, right?
Right.
And that's the only things you can. And I don't think you should compare it to the Air 2S because it's a different category altogether.
Yeah.
But you're talking camera. I still think the Air 2S camera is little better. But this Nano Plus is coming close to the Air 2S. What are your thoughts on that?
I agree with you. I think that when they came out with that, just because it's under the weight, which makes it a mini, they're trying to
Mhm.
compare it with a mini, and basically, it's like they put a better camera on it to make it better. So it's really hard to compare apples for apples. When you're throwing a bigger camera on something than another drone has, just because it's under the weight and is considered a mini. So I see a couple of people in here, Drone View Medias, welcome. TDR Drones, E-Bikes, and Scooters, welcome. Got Maddie's Drone World, Flying and Flynn Media. Okay, yeah, yeah. I just feel like that. They threw a big camera on there. Now here's my question. From what I understand, I think Johnny sent his back. There was some issues with the gimbal on this model on the Plus model, and they're fixing something on the gimbal and sending it back to the customers. Now, when I did my firmware on mine, because I did have Jello when I first had it, I didn't have
Mhm.
any more Jello after that, and it was only when I flew into the wind. Now, when I asked my rep up here, of course, he's like, "We don't have that problem." Well, they're all made in the same place. I'm sure they do, but you're saying as of right now, you don't see any Jello when you fly.
No, and you know what? Brian Singleton and I were discussing this earlier today, and one of the things that the problem is if you take your camera and push it back, the gimbal push it back, it causes both of your gummies to hit and stick, and they won't separate. So if you were to just coat it, those gummies, so when the camera gets pushed up against it, when the wind, remember you're flying into it wouldn't stick. And so that's all you're doing. When you're sending those back, they're probably replacing the gummies with special coated gummies, or they're adding a coating to it. So why send it back? Why just not fix it yourself if you have the knowledge of how to do it? So that's something we should look into and maybe create a solution for the folks here that, why send it back if it's just a gummy issue? But that's what we're seeing. Early reports are coming back. That's what's going on. So why isn't Autel releasing this information as a fix? Well, probably they don't want people to get into it and maybe break something else, because there are some people that are just not mechanically inclined, So, So we got a lot of folks.
To give you an update. So I bought the Nano. I sent it to you. I bought the Light Plus. And when I first got it, I had trouble with the LED working on the front left arm looking at the drone. The light just never would come on. And I was sitting here thinking, well, maybe that's an arm that's supposed to give a different light signal for, trouble landing, night, whatever, but it wouldn't work. So when I first got it, I took a picture and a quick video, sent it over to the rep. He didn't really make a big deal about it, kind of avoided it. And I didn't really say anything about it. And then I started thinking, maybe that same cable's hooked to the motor or something. Maybe I should get this fixed. It's under warranty. So I sent him a video last week and, showed him, hey, it's still not working. I need to get it fixed. And he's like, not a problem. Send it back to me. So I put it in a box, shipped it over to him, said it would be a day. He'd get it back. 3 days later, I contacted him. It's Chinese holiday. Nobody's doing anything. Wait till Monday. Monday came, and I was like, okay, now I'm like on the 4th or 5th day. It was supposed to be a 1 day quick fix and return. So after 5 days, I was like, dude, $1,650. I need my drone back. He's like, you're going to get it. You'll have it by Wednesday. Well, sure enough, Wednesday afternoon, I got it. So we're looking at 8 days then. So I've been busy with everything. So it stays in the box for like an extra 2 days. And I decide I better check this thing out, make sure that it's good. Maybe they changed the drone. I don't know. So I took it out, no props, no battery, just the way I sent it, and plugged it all in, was all excited. Hey, I'm going to go fly it and turn it on. And guess what? The damn LED is still not fixed. Looked at the drone really close, and there's a couple of stickers and different stickers they put in between two seams of the front of the body. So if you take it apart, it voids a warranty. And I noticed I had put a little pin mark on a couple of them. And these are the ones that they would have to open to verify that they did it. So when I asked him, I was like, hey, well, I'm upset because why did you send me the drone back not fixed? And he's like, oh, we've replaced the motor. I was like, what? What do you mean replace the motor? There's nothing wrong with the motor. It was the LED is what the problem was. So he's like, oh, no. And I said, look, I marked the sticker on there. It was never opened. And he's like, oh, no, we updated the firmware. We thought maybe
he didn't do crap to it.
Yeah, he said, I thought the firmware was causing a problem with the motor. I said, well, I've got a question. You're saying that you fixed the motor because you thought that was a problem. Did you test it first to verify there was an issue with the motor? And I said, come on. I said, if you fixed that motor or replaced it, you got enough common sense to look and see if the damn LED's working. That's all it was. I just wanted it fixed in case it would cause another issue. So then he's like, hey, I was in another province, and here they have like the Air Reserve where you got to go spend 1 weekend a month or whatever it is. And the military's like, I was gone. It's my fault. I'm like, it's not your fault. It's whoever you got working for you doing these repairs. They lied their butt off because it's not been touched. So I was a little upset, and we got into some heated talking. And I was like, look, just refund the money, keep the drone. He's like, well, I'll put the case in through Autel. And I was like, wait a minute. My money didn't say Autel. It had your company's name on it. Just return the money. We'll work something out. And, he's kind of pleading. And he's like, let me just give you some money back. And it's like, it's not a money issue. I like the drone. I just want the LED fixed. And he's like, well, I'll give you like 50 or 60 bucks back and we'll fix it. And I said, I tell you what, you send me an orange one, not a gray one, because they'll send me the same one back. Send me an orange one and send it in a week. And he's like, they're on the boat. I can't get it for 2 weeks. I agree with him. I was like, okay, that's what we'll do. I'll wait 2 weeks. You put a gray one, you get it to me working with the LEDs, and I won't do a refund. But when the time comes, if I don't get it on the first of the month, just go ahead and send back that $1,650. I said, because I'll have to buy a different drone somewhere else. So anyway, I'm getting a new drone to make the story shorter, but I have had zero problems with that drone other than that LED. I mean, Al, it runs good. There's no issues with it. It's just like, it's a little scary because I'm like, what am I going to hit on here that like sends it out of control or I get jello or an issue? But dude, it's like, it's a solid drone. I mean, it's like picking up your Mavic Air 2 Pro. I mean, it's actually, it's more solid. It's more heavy. So that was my experience with the Autel Lite Plus. Loved the drone. I just wanted the LED fix. So I guess I'll be switching from gray to orange and I'll fly it a little bit. And I guess I may end up sending that to you and letting you fly that and testing that one out too. Now, these are the first Autel drones that you have flown.
Yeah, no, actually it's not. I've had a chance to fly both the Evo and the Eva 2 because of my neighbor.
Right. Now,
So,
have you used the Sky app for the Autel before? Or is this your
no,
first
this
time?
is the first time. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
I do like it. I don't like the fact that they're not giving you any waypoints.
right.
I didn't check that with this release lately, and I might
Well,
be sticking my big size 12 in my mouth, but it's the no waypoints that they have to put that back in because
right.
you had waypoints in the previous app. So that's something that, it's hard to swallow because it's the most expensive mini on the market, right? So it
Right.
should have more capabilities. Granted, the camera is nicer and it's
Mm-hmm.
bigger, and they're staying on the 250 gram. They weren't the
Right.
first to market with the sensors on the Mini because Hubsan beat everybody to market on that one because Hubsan came out with the first Mini with all the collision detection. Granted, it wasn't his best. I mean, Marcus seems to attract all the bugs. He got every time he gets a Mini, it's drama. Right.
Well, here's the thing about Marcus. I'll say on this part though, if there's something wrong with the drone, Marcus is going to find it, or he's going to make it happen. But the point is people. That's what makes the drone industry better. Where we go in and say, "Hey, here's an issue." A good example is when they had the bad firmware on your Skydio and it went in the water. Had that never happened, and it happened to other people that didn't get traffic in the drone community like us, and been a non-person where they didn't cause any commotion, that would have never been fixed. But I mean,
know, right?
I contacted Skydio, Marcus. There's a bunch of us, and what did they do? They replaced your drone. They fixed the firmware. So Marcus, thumbs up to you there for be as picky as hell, guys. When you buy these things, be picky so we can compare what we have going on with these drones to fix it. But being a camera guy on your end and understanding aperture and all this other stuff, what did you think when you opened up the cameras and you couldn't find any settings to adjust anything? I panicked because I was like, ooh, I didn't know to go to the Pro button. And I was like, how the hell do you change? I need light. I need to close. What do I do? And then finally I clicked on the Pro mode and I was like, I think they should have had it in there though. They should have had it in the camera and the video automatically where you didn't have to go to the Pro.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, every app is going to be different. Just like, when you're watching, I don't know. Here we do a lot of live streaming in the United States, and to do your live streaming for your TV, you have to have you know,
Yes, sir,
Paramount
Joe.
Plus, your Disney app, you have to have your HBO app all in your smart TV with all your credentials so it can authenticate into the server that's streaming everything back to your TV, right? So each one of those apps has a different feel to it. So when you go to seasons and episodes, you know, it's scrolling from left to right, 1 to 8, and then you go to the next app, it's scrolling from top to bottom, from the latest to the earliest one. And you're like, oh my gosh, I just got used to the HBO app. Now I'm on the Paramount app, and now I got to remember. So it's the kind of same thing as what I'm trying to say, because whoever designs the app makes it look like they want to make it look right, and
I like it.
whoever's
I like the app
oh
because
heck
it's
yeah,
different. It's different than what I'm used to seeing. So for me, it's kind of like, it's new. I feel better. I mean, nothing out of the drones that I've got, nothing makes me feel as safe as the Air 2S, because I just know that it's not going to fail. It's not an issue. The Mavic 3, I'm getting more brave with because I'm trusting the firmware more. But this one right here, it's like it does everything I want it to do on the light. Now, I've been watching a lot of videos, and one of the things is when they made the controller, they didn't have a place to put the pinchers. And a lot of people were joking because there's two holes in the back of your controller. And when I shipped it to you, I probably had it in those two little holes.
yeah, and
And
everybody's
I was
yeah,
watching Original Adobo, and he was like, he's come up with a device to lock them in there that you can buy. And basically, instead of putting it back there, just it's a piece that locks on the top part. But it was funny because when I was watching his video, he was talking about, this is a better way to do it because a lot of people are screwing it in the hole and there's no threads in the plastic. There's no threads. And he's right. And on his device, you can actually lock it in. But as he's talking about putting his device on, he's like, now you take this plastic piece and this one, you put them together and you put the screws in. But don't tighten them in it tight because it's still plastic. It's the same thing. You're still
yeah. I mean, you
screwing
got to
it.
strip it out. Yeah,
Exactly.
you should be shipping Teflon screws with that instead of regular screws. So if anything
Well,
gets
there's
stripped, is the
there's
screw.
somebody else. There's somebody else that's making something also, and it has
Yeah, and
helicord. It has helicores in it. So when
and
you
I
tighten it, it's permanent.
yeah.
It'll never pull out.
Yeah, and here's the deal. I'm going to design something using Tinkercad or another program, and I'm going to start printing on a 3D play on the 3D printer, 3D player.
I liked
3D
his.
printer.
I like his because I like the way his setup is, and I think it's really good. And I actually contacted him and made the comment. I wanted to buy one, and I wanted to see if I could get some for over here. And he responded back to me and said he didn't want to sell anything over here because they copy it. So I guess I didn't have an option to buy one for me, and I didn't get one. I think a couple of the other guys actually got them in the mail. He sent them to them. So it'd have been nice if we'd have got one where we could show it on the live stream. But because we didn't get one, I guess we'll just have to develop one ourselves and market it, or find someone to do it because we can't get one. At least I couldn't get one when I tried. So I don't know. I guess I could probably reach out again and beg, or if somebody knows the link where I can buy it, maybe I'll buy one of his and do that. If I can, it's okay. We'll just make one ourselves, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be pretty straightforward because here's the deal. Let's say I'm going to share my screen here. Share. Yeah, I know you guys love this, and probably you love this too.
Yep. Hold on. Let me get rid of
As
mine.
I say sarcastically.
Go ahead.
All right, so I'm sharing my screen.
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
Okay.
And I'm going to move some windows around so it doesn't look so bad. Okay, so let's say this was a hot shoe mount that I'm working on the project. All right,
Okay.
and so the whole project that I was working on is this. I'll show it to you. Yeah, this is the final project here. But I figured that it was such a pain in the butt, so I made this. Um, cage for my, as you can see, the 9 here, the Hero 9, right?
Yeah.
So I added this piece here so I could put my external microphone adapter,
Right.
and
Like the DJI.
Yeah, and I added this hot shoe mount on top so I could put a light on there if I was shooting at night. But then when I printed it, it kind of freaked out. So then I went a different route and just started printing each piece individually. Hit the wrong button. There we go. So what I did then is I cut everything in pieces, and I'll show you what I mean by that. So I created that cage with everything in it, but then I cut all the pieces out of it. You see now? So
Yeah.
I'm going to print them all out separately, and then I'm going to glue them on there because it prints so much better like this than as a singular piece. And so my point here is this, that you can take whatever object you want, and if you want to punch holes in it, it's really simple on this product. So let's say I want to punch a 2x2 hole in it here. Let's just say I'm going to do a 2x2 hole in it because I'm going to be using 2mm holes, and I'm going to make it a long one, and I'm just going to spin it, and one more spin, and then I'm going to just punch the holes through this thing where I want to punch them through here, right through the middle. And those are the holes that I'm going to punch in it. And I'm going to move this one over to the other side right here. And didn't mean to do that. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to grab that. I meant to grab this. 3 objects. And watch. I just punched 2 holes right through there. So I'm gonna shift here so you can see there's the holes I punched through there. Look, simple stuff, man. So the whole point here is that we can all like make our own objects.
Absolutely. And there's enough people in our groups that have 3D printers, but I guess my point is we just need to make sure they're available for everybody. So if we want one, we don't have to call somebody and ask for, hey, what's the link? Can I buy one? I was a little, I could have used it for my drone. And we sure could have promoted it if Al, if me and you had one, we sure could have promoted Dobo's thing on this channel. So, but that's okay. We'll come up with another solution.
So I hope I'm not kind of boring everybody, but you guys get my point.
Cool.
You could take whatever you want, this piece, and you could cut it up and print in 3 different pieces and glue it, or you could try to print it all in one piece. So yeah, this is the cage that you're familiar with, Robbie, with the external microphone. You drop the external microphone right in here, and then the GoPro drops in here, and then you cable it from here to there. And that's why I did this cutout on the bottom. But my print was going to take 24 hours for this, so I was like, screw that. I'm going to do it in pieces, and then I'm just going to glue them together. So, do you have a
transparent filament, Al?
Hey, what now?
Do you have a transparent filament?
I do. Is PETG. PETG is what.
It's PLA or it's not PLA?
It's better than PLA because it's got 3 characteristics a lot better. It handles impact better, it handles high temperature better, and it's closed cell, so the molecules are closer. So it's often used for water bottles, Robbie, because it kind of has the antibacterial thing, because it doesn't have the crevices in there that the bacteria get stuck in and grow like it does in your teeth and create cavities if you don't keep it clean. So PETG is the next best thing to PLA. It's hard, it's brittle, but look at this. I'm going to stop sharing. So I just put a direct drive extruder on my printer back here, which is hard to see. Maybe I can turn it a little bit. Yeah, it's back there anyway, trust me. And here's the two different kinds of TPU, which is the flexible filament. This right here is 85A, and
Right.
this is 95. It won't bend.
Right.
It bends, but this is like rubber. Now, you try to push a rubber band through a straw. You can only push it so far in a straw, and then it gets all
like a wet noodle.
And it gets all jammed up. So when you have a direct drive extruder, like back here, which is hard to see, you're only pushing it this far, and therefore that wet noodle will never bind up in itself. So if you have an Anders 3 version 2 printer, which is the most popular printer in the world, 3D printer in the world, you could buy that direct drive extruder for $42. I found it on sale last week for under $35, and I bought it. And it only was on sale for that like couple hours. I don't know. I just got lucky and found it. So I bought it, and now it's back up to $42 but now I'm able to print really flexible stuff.
And what material is that, Al?
That's TPU 85A, and this is TPU 95A. And you can see it bends.
Yeah.
But it's not this. This, it's, it's
really soft.
Yeah, and so now I'm putting it all on my. I crashed this really bad, Robbie, over the weekend. I broke an arm.
Yeah,
I just got it back online. I replaced the motor and replaced the frame, and now I'm doing all my TPU prints, and and this rubbery stuff. But I had put side curtains on this thing, and it's looking good, man. But I was not expecting to break. I mean, I dropped from 150 feet through a gap in the canopy, and as I was coming back down, I wanted to shoot back up, and I didn't whomp on the throttle quick enough.
Didn't have enough.
Yeah, and it just came back and just wham! It was like belly flop, and I actually have the video somewhere, and I'm sure you guys are tired of watching me. But yeah, it was a good whomp, man. When it hit, and I was like, oh man, right on the gravel. I think it would have been okay if I hit dirt or grass, but it hit gravel, and it was game over, man. It was like done.
We got a couple extra people in here. Andy Cortez, AZ Drone Dude, Harley FPV. Welcome in, guys.
DeMarco's here. Hey, DeMarco, how are you, man? Hey, by the way, DeMarco's going to be on the Duranified channel this Thursday, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And then the week after that, we're going to have Ed Richter join us. So got some people lined up to have a good time. But who else we have here? Harley FPV. Greg has just joined. How are you, buddy? Thanks for stopping.
So we got this is the DPI action too. So I've been checking out this new little case, the waterproof case. And
do you like it?
Yeah, and I mean it works. I like it. What I really wanted it for is I have a clamp that I use on this, and I've got another one that's on my motorcycle where, of course it's a magnet where you just lock it in. So I put it like this on my motorcycle and just clamp it. It locks in place, and I drive. The clamps and magnets hold it fine, even though Ken Heron says never trust the magnet.
Oh, no.
It's not just the magnet, because it's got these pinchers on the side that actually hold it. So it can't come off unless you push them in. So anyway, I got this thinking, hey, I want to try and put it in this. But the issue is once I cut it off here, I'm playing my video. Once you open it up and put it in here on the motorcycle, in order to take it off, of course, you got to take it back out. It's hard to pull out because, you can't tilt it because it's hooked to the motorcycle. So, yeah, I think for underwater, something's good. I wanted to do it just for protection from anything that could fly up on the road from a car or something while I'm driving. Because, I mean, here, honestly, we do have laws on the main roads that you have to wear a helmet, and I'm guilty of when I'm on the backside roads, Al. It's like driving in your neighborhood. The odds of somebody hitting you is going to be, if a drunk driver might get you, but other than that, I mean, it's rarely, it's pretty safe. So a lot of times I'll just throw on some sunglasses because we do have mosquitoes here that'll take your eyes out if they hit you on the motorcycle because my motorcycle doesn't have
Like
the guard
bees.
on the front.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I've been kind of testing this, guys, just kind of seeing how it does because a lot of people, they bought the Action 2 or are using it. Now, I saw this one, and I think I saw Ray Kelly had one of these. And Al, me and you tested out some of these strobes before.
The Lume Cubes?
Yeah. And this is made by a different company, Ulanzi. Actually, Al, this is the company that we bought the cases for the GoPros that had those external.
I have bought so much from them.
Yeah.
Ulanzi, let's see, stuff for the pocket, stuff for my Hero 2.
This one's little, and it only does white. And I think I saw it on one of Ray Kelly's. And what I did kind of think was cool about it is if you look, it's got the little notch there and the notch there. So you actually put it on the arm here, and it's got a rubber band that goes around it. It comes with the little Velcro pieces. Now I looked these up on Amazon, and they're like $20 a piece. And here you can buy them like by the boxes. I may be sending some of these back for some of the events we have in the U.S. That way, if some of you guys want them, I'm not big on putting stickers and stuff on top of my drone because I will buy something and fly it for a while and want to sell it, and I want to make sure it's like brand new so I can get the most money I can get out of it when I do that. So, but this is something that I'm going to be kind of testing out, and then I want to know this out of the people that are in the chat now. Let me know who has the Air 2S. Who has the Air 2S that's in the chat right now? I think Ray's got it. I think Johnny's got who's got it? DeMarco, I think you got it. Let me know who in the chat has the Air 2S because there's a reason behind this.
Yeah, I love my Air 2S, as you can see in my comments. It definitely is my second favorite drone to the Mavic 2 Pro, but in the pinch, I'll take the Air 2S because I have 4 batteries. I only have 2 batteries on the Mavic 2 Pro.
Okay. We got Drone Media Views. He's got one. Andy Cortez says, Air 2S sucks. I prefer a hack Phantom 4.
Yeah, well, the Phantom 4 is unbelievable until you have to buy batteries, and then that really crushes your pocket.
Let me tell you why. Now, most of you guys that know me, I bought this from Third Eye View, the Air 2S. I bought it because I think he was switching to FPV. But anyway, Fun Media, he has the Air 2S. Now, I bought this. I like the little band. I didn't buy it. It came with the drone when he bought it. But I get a little confused sometimes on what way it wraps. So what I do is the bottom of it, I don't see if you can really tell because the color, you can see where the propellers are shaped on there. So it shows you kind of like where it came in. So I'm tired of this because all it really does is like a piece of Velcro around the actual drone itself. So let me show you what I found. A lot of you guys have seen these that are solid pieces that you lock on. And they're one solid upper bar. It's like a flexible, it's like a stiff plastic all the way around. But I want to show you what this one is. I'm not sure if any of y'all have this. Now, y'all know that I did a video on the PGY Tech bag that I like so much for the Mavic 3. But I'm going to show you this because it's really cool the way that it's made. Now, you'll notice it's really flexible here, so it's not a hard piece. And it's actually got like a 45 angle cut in it.
Mm-hmm.
But it flexes, it's solid. So the way it works is, if y'all can see it in the camera, if I can get it on here right, this is shaped 45, the same as the 45 is shaped here, right in here. So it actually locks on here like that and locks on the other side the same way. and they push on, and it really holds it nice. I
And
mean,
it's kind of an IQ test when you first get it, though, if you don't know what you're talking about. It's
yeah,
pretty
you don't.
straightforward because the shape is perfectly fit in that nook of the arms. You know what I
Yeah, that
mean?
little 45.
Yeah, and it
And
just
now,
slaps right in, holding everything in. Boom. And
yeah,
you can't do it wrong. You know, like, oh my gosh, I'm
exactly.
trying to get it the wrong way. No, and it just slides right on in, boys, and off you go. So pretty
Al,
straightforward. And the
I think
bottom.
it. The only problem, Al, is it's is childproof like medicine bottles. So if you have trouble getting it on, like you have it. Now look, the bottom part though that they have on it for the bottom, I kept thinking, how the heck's that going to stick to the bottom? Nothing holds it. Well, if you'll look, it's got a notch cut in it here, in that end,
Right.
in your prop. Your prop actually fits in it like this, and you put it over, put your other prop in it. Sorry, guys, it's hard to do one-handed here. Let me try this again.
He and once he gets it on here, be careful when you do this, guys, because what you'll do is you already want to rock and roll. You'll do this, and this thing will go flying right off. So don't do that out in the field. I've done it. So if
See
you were to
how it fits in?
yeah, pull on the arms now, Robbie, you'll see that thing go flying off.
Yeah,
So
but you know
be
what
careful
though?
with that.
For putting it in my bag, it's very stable. You know, one thing I'm learning about some of these products, and some of these products have been out for a while. Some have bought it, some have not bought it. And this is again by PGY Tech.
Oh yeah,
I'm kind of going through some of the different products that they have, and it's funny because it's like a lot of these companies just try to make something fast to get to the market so you'll buy the product, like something like this. And yeah, does it serve the purpose? Yes. Is it complicated to use? Yes. Does it get in the way? Yes. So to actually have something like this and spend the time to kind of understand, this company really has taken some time and listened to people about what they're making. They're just not making stuff and putting it out there. They seem to be making stuff that really, they just fit the stuff good. And I like it better because honestly, I could probably put this on several different drones and it would work. And it's like a universal type deal.
well, I'm gonna actually get a product out from PGY Tech. It's an 18-liter backpack that they sent me, and it's a really good backpack. And I've been meaning to do the comparison of the videos. And I'll pull that PGY Tech backpack out. Let me pull that out. I'll show you what I mean.
So yeah, but it's as you can see, it's a pretty cool setup the way that they've got it. Now,
Okay,
Al,
so
what is that backpack called?
this is the PGY Tech 18-liter, and I forgot. It's been duranified big time. As you can see, I've actually duranified it to do all my FPV. And check this out. And I know if you guys were at Spin Up, so there's the reveal of go this way. This is my battery compartment all the way at the bottom. And then I have my goggles. And then, so this is the 18-liter One Go backpack. Right. And so what I did, I duranified it by putting bungee cords on it, so I can attach my FPV quads here, like so. And also, there's another product on the market that's really good, and I'll show you what I'm talking about here. I got a lot of wires and a lot of things that take off here, but I think I could do it backwards. Maybe not.
You got everything on there but some barbed wire, Al.
Yeah, and these things are like barbed wire when they catch stuff. You know what I mean? That's my Baby Hawk, and this is my XL5 Titan. And this is the product I was telling you about right here. I'm going to be able to see it. Maybe. You see that? That's a
Yep.
flange that allows you to put kind of like a battery strap on it. And I'll show you what I'm talking about because I've doubled it up. So there's 3 bolts holding that together with nuts on it. And
Yep.
that allows you to Velcro in your quads. So what I mean by that is you put your quad in here and you just Velcro it in just like you would Velcro it in a battery on your quad.
Yeah.
So there it is right there. And it's not going to drop because it's Velcroed in just like the cat.
What's that quad weigh?
This it's like it's 700 gram quad because it's got 6 millimeter arms. This thing's a beast. This thing, it would not break with that crash that I did. And the bungee cords are made to hold my smaller quads on here. So and then all I do is, and then I'm rocking and rolling again. And usually it has 3 drones on here when I go out. Because when you fly a PB, the chances that you're going to break something are pretty good, unless you're a cruiser. If you're a cruiser, then you're not going to be, doing the bando stuff. But
Yeah.
Robbie, you know me. I like to take risks, and FPV fits my wheelhouse just right because the risks are managed better. Because if you know how to build these things, right, and take it all apart, hang it all out. If you know how to build them, you know how to fix them. And so that's why I've been kind of lacking on producing videos and doing more live streams and anything because I've been spending all my time flying instead of editing. I mean, I got tons of videos, but I just haven't had the motivation to actually edit. Now, with that said, I need to do that because I'll be lucky enough to, receive some of the drones that they want me to edit or review. And I have a hard time pumping myself up to do it, pump it up, because the products are not that good. If they were sending me Mavic 3s, it'd be a different story, but that's not going to happen with a small channel. Maybe flight path type channels will be able to do it, but not me. And so I've been having a good time just freaking flying. I know, Greg, you've been flying like crazy, and Brian, you've been flying your Xeno Mini Pro to drive you batty and your Xeno Mini SC that you like. And we have Andy Cortez in the house here. Where's Andy Cortez live, guys? Where's he at? El Schmeghead. I like that. I was just reading some of the now, Andy was talking about who here remembers NASA. I have no idea what NASA was. The good old days of DJIs. Oh, are we talking the Phantom 1 with the GoPro app? Andy, you're in Birmingham, England. Dang, man, thanks for staying up late. I know it's probably like, 8 o'clock, almost 8 o'clock now, 5 hours difference. So, golly, we're talking midnight, 1 a.m. Whew. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Andy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. NASA allows you to get under the covers because I believe, Robbie, all the stuff that's being written is either in Python and is using a Merlin kernel. Okay, so if you look at the G code created for the machine instruction set, it's all created in Python, but when you put it through the slicer, the G code is Merlin. So the Merlin is a kernel that boots up the 3D printer, but Merlin is written in Python. So that's all open source, and that's why we're seeing such a great evolution in the 3D printing world, which I'm just now familiarizing myself in it. But there's a lot more people who've been out there doing this for a very long time. So if you know Python or you know Merlin, or you like to code in C or C++, or what was your favorite coding language, Robbie?
PHP.
PHP, because of the web. Got it. Yeah.
Yep.
So you're the web developer. So
Yep.
yeah, I mean, so you kind of, go with what you know, right? Just like your Air 2S better than your Mavic 3, and that's why you feel more confident with your Air 2S instead of the Mavic 3. But once you get to know that Mavic 3, I'm sure the Air 2S is probably going to gather some dust unless you need to fly more batteries than you have for the Mavic 3. Now, you have 3 batteries for your Mavic 3, Robbie?
Yep, sure do.
Okay, yeah. So is anybody in the chat a coder? Writes code? What do y'all do anyway for fun? I'd love to hear what you guys do for fun. I know, Harley, you like to build. You're a builder like I am and a flyer. Andy, what do you do out there, man? You like your DJI stuff, obviously. But I'd love to hear what you guys get into. I like to take risks and break things and include myself. And I can't wait for this. Get out of the snow again. Here we are. Yeah, Andy's saying that that Python FC40 still rocks. I agree. I really do. And it definitely is hard to find an Android device that will freaking work with that, or at least code with it. So we got a basic programmer, Robbie. Now you're dating yourself, man. Oh, my God.
Sorry.
Remember basic, man? Only 40 years ago, man, shaking the cobwebs out of my head.
Technology, it changes so much. I mean, it's so hard. And it's one thing I've noticed with a lot of programmers and developers. You have some people that are like jack of all trades. They can program maybe in 4 or 5 different codes. But usually when you find someone that's really, really good, they specialize in one particular field. And sometimes it can just get so beyond what you can imagine and so far ahead of what you're trying to do. It's pretty unbelievable.
It is, because they have so many subroutines that can tie in together, and then you end up losing yourself. I'll get wrapped up in my underwear real quick, but I was reading some of the other comments here. And let's see, Andy tried to get into the machine code but failed, but and then Drone Views Media saying he's a white hat hacker. Okay, now can somebody explain to me what a white hat hacker is? Robbie, would you know?
No, not really.
Can you expand on that one, Drone Views Media?
We always joke because people say they're hackers, and we say we're not scared of hackers. We're afraid of crackers. Those are the guys that can actually get into stuff. Be guessing passwords and have software to open stuff. And I don't know that in there. Basic PHP and HTML is primarily what I focus in on, or have focused in on in the past.
I agreed. And let's see, I was going to show you something. Oh, yeah, I got something I've been playing with. Maybe I could show you that. Oh, yeah, I should be able to switch cameras here. All right, so I'm going to switch cameras. It's going to take me a little bit, but you'll see what I'm talking about. I just switched cameras, right? You see that? Okay, and this is my 3D printing stuff that's been pretty fun. And this is what I've been doing, making stuff that holds my phone. There you go, man. A cat that holds your phone. You see that? Oh, here's another one, Robert, you like. Oh, you need a hand to hold your.
I saw that the other night. I didn't know what that was.
And all this stuff has been tyrannified big time, guys, big time. So as you can see, here's my hand that holds all my all my all the stuff that I would normally just throw into this bin, and I have to dig through it. Oh yeah. So I got tired of trying to find my tools. So there's my tool organizer. So as you can see, I've been binging on 3D printing and I've been having a blast. So I'd love to hear how many of you all are out there 3D printing. I just, sorry about the noise. I just dropped my pliers and my scissor. That's right. Yeah, this one here is definitely one of my favorites because it's taken a while. Oh, and you want to see one that took 79 hours to print? Let me show you this one. I don't know how we got down this road. Oh yeah, this one. 79 hours to print this, guys. Right here. But look what it holds. So yeah, this is my tripod bin, man. It holds all my tripods, my little tripods, and I printed it on TPU, as you can see it, nice and flexible. So anyway, that's enough of that. There it is. Now, I wish that video switch that StreamYard gives you, when you got a cam mic and then you got to go through the settings. I wish it was a little better, a little faster, but hey. Oh, the scammer channels. Andy's talking about the scammer channels. Oh, David Gray's here. Yeah. What's going on, David? Yeah, I agree. The white hat do a lot of pen testing. So thanks for explaining that, or shall we say, as my wife would often tell, mansplaining it for me.
Yeah, David knows about that, all the computer stuff. I'm not sure on all that stuff there.
Yeah, that's his wheelhouse because he ended up doing that for a long time with the insurance business. So, and as you know, in my opinion, insurance are legal crooks. They can decide what not to pay out. That really pisses you off when you've been paying all those years and they don't pay out. So white hat is ethical and black hat hacking is you're criminals. So David Gray, so is the CIA hacker white or black hat? Now we're going to get into the fine line. What is ethical?
Yeah, exactly.
Crackhead, look, Brian from TDR Drone said crackheads is what he stays away from. Agreed.
Andy Cortez says, my mobile data is about to run out. Damn Richard Bronson and his team of virgins.
That's a good one. Now you're going to make me go to the bathroom earlier than I planned to. Oh, geez, yeah. Yeah, they find bugs for the benefit of the company. Those are the white hatters. So yeah, they could definitely dig into the dark side.
Get to work. Have a good time. Thanks for stopping by the show.
Yeah, absolutely. We're having a good time chatting about nonsense tonight, but it's been good.
Tonight was one of those weeks where the week goes through and you just like let's just have a just talk. Let people come in. Let's just talk. So
Yeah.
tonight was kind of me and Al's time to have a break. Those of y'all that don't have live streams, this rolls around pretty quick each week. And with me having one and Al having one, Al's got to do it twice. So it comes around a lot faster than you think it does. You know, to come up with a guest, figure out what y'all are going to talk about, make the thumbnail, put all the other stuff up. It's not just simple.
Well, it definitely takes a little bit of organization and planning, and hopefully we have enough friends in the community that can help us keep us going. Yeah, like I said, this Thursday night, Brian Singleton and I will be hosting DeMarco, and we're going to be talking about DeMarco. I'm going to throw you a curveball right here live. We're going to be talking about your basher trucks, man, and Brian, it's going to be discussing the V-copter, and I'm going to be discussing uh, why FPV is so addicting. At least I am. It's like my other obsession in life now, beside my wife, is that. Uh, so.
Now you've got that. Remember that big truck that you had?
Oh yeah, I
That
still
was so
got it.
that was so fast.
Yeah, I still have it, man. I think it comes out in this kind of weather is when it goes out, because it is just a blast. Oh, and when DeMarco and had his at Spin Up, um, Brad Olson brought his toy grade truck there, and DeMarco and Brad had a front end collision. I mean,
Oh,
head on crash, man. DeMarco's truck kept on rolling, man. Poor Brad's truck ended up being toy grade. It doesn't have all the suspension, and the couplings made out of an alloy is made out of plastic. So I think he lost a coupler and a bushing up in the front right. I think it was, as my wife would say, left right. Lon is saying that Harley's
I'm
off to
reading.
the strip club to get the dollars. he imagined old Greg on the pole. Oh boy. Oh man.
So what
So
else is going on? What's going on with Duranify? What's next? What are you going to be working on there?
well, I mean, the big thing that I wanted to accomplish this week is actually get a good review for the Nano Plus that you sent me. I really like the camera. I've only had it, I only flown like 2 or 3 batteries, 3 batteries, one just to get used to that, and 2 for real flying. And I mean, it's a freaking nice flyer, man. I mean, nice flyer. I disabled the sensors because I don't want all that beeping noise, and it doesn't matter to me about objects because I'm not going to get near them. So yeah, I mean, that's surprisingly how well that thing works. Um, so that's what I'm going to be doing, is just reviewing the Nano. And then they sent me a B-Wine F7. And it's a pretty good flyer. I already did the videos. I just have to do the editing. I'm impressed a little bit by the flight characteristics. I'm not impressed by the camera. And it's because they put like an Akaso low-end action camera on a 3-axis gimbal hanging below the quad, like the Phantom 4s, Phantom 3s, Phantom 2s, Phantom 1s. Like the Phantom series is what I'm trying to say. And it's actually real soft video. It's definitely real soft. Let's see, what else was the boy saying? David Gray said that the Clinton hacker started off white and turned black. Oh man, let's see. Yeah, well, Brian, we'll see you Thursday for sure, man. Bedtime for Brian. Good night. Sleep tight. What else is
Well,
what?
anyway, what I was saying though, guys, about that, I thought it was pretty cool. I'll put a link in there if y'all want to look at get a. I don't really even know what the price is on it. I'll send it over there. And guys, look, just so everybody understands, I'm new to Alltel. It was new for me to even have the controller, come up with the little things for the screw things, with people talking it, put it in the hole. By no means was I saying don't buy Dobo stuff because it's good. Johnny's got one. Johnny Droneflower's got one. It's good. I'm just saying that you know, there are so many different options out there for different stuff. I don't want anybody to take it wrong. He's in our community, comes in our chats and other stuff. We all support each other. We definitely want you to support Ken and what he's doing, because when stuff does come out, he does get it early and he is able to put it out and help us guys that do need it. I'm just making a comment that there's so many different people that put different stuff out there. So if that was taken wrong, I'm sorry.
Basically, what you're saying, we got options, and it's true. We got options. So,
Yeah, it's hard too when you buy the stuff because we spend money on it, and the difference is between buying a product from a company like this that makes it compared to someone that's in our own group like Ken that makes it. He actually has the drone, and he knows it fits, and he knows what's crap. So it does make a difference on buying something from a manufacturer compared to buying something from somebody that makes something. And hey, he executed it when it needed to be out there the most. So I give him props for that.
yeah. I mean, and he has an advantage because he's getting those early releases.
Sure.
So that helps big time, big time. So
okay. Well,
kudos to him.
I made my comment because somebody texted me. They're like, "Don't talk bad about Ken." Hey, if I said something wrong, public apology. Just trying to make conversation on what's going on. I had the triple tech, so I know I know the adapter that fits the triple tech. And actually, I think it was during the holiday. He was actually traveling at the time and was going to be on the show and couldn't make it because of his travel arrangements. And we were going to actually promote that product. So when we do find products out there that work, we definitely need to support each other because most of us get along in the community. Sometimes we have spiffs with each other, but when it comes right down to it, guys, we're all droner guys in the community. We need to all get along and enjoy and share knowledge so we don't buy stuff like this. I'm just kidding. It's not, hey, it did what it did for when I had it, but I do feel better about my stuff being a little bit tighter in the bag. That's one thing that they should come up with an Alltel Light that they didn't do that I would have liked to seen somebody come up with is something like this. Because the way the propellers shut, this actually shuts and is above. So it's within the body here. On the light, the propeller sticks out like a half an inch on each side, and there's nowhere for it to go. So I wish someone would come up with something for the propellers to protect that, because honestly, when you try to put it down in the bag out, it points straight down like this.
It's always catching.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's one of my issues that I had with the Light Plus is, it catches on the inside of the bag every time, and you have to turn it camera up. You can't put it camera down because the bag's cushioned, but it's not cushioned very much, especially on the bottom. So when you slide it in upside down like this to go in there, it always catches on that end. So I'm eager to see them come up with some kind of device to protect that. They need like a full cover, kind of like the face of the Mavic 3 has when it fits in there. They need something like that in the bottom part so you can slide it in the case. It would be a good seller. It really, really would.
I think so, because everybody's trying to protect their investment, and that's a big, if you're spending $15, $20 to protect your investment, that's a really good value, especially if it works and it doesn't damage your propellers. Because if you damage your propellers, you could lose your lift, and then your EFCs will overheat, and next thing you know, you're falling out of the sky like my Xeno 2 Plus fell out of the sky on Monument Avenue that day.
I was
Remember?
thinking the same thing
Yeah.
about that because Al was flying, and I was very new, like within 4 months maybe of flying. And I said, Al, why is your drone making a funny sound? And it was one of the motors, and it was like, zzz, and we watched it, and
That was
basically within like 3 seconds it fell. You're so lucky that it didn't fall on top of a car because we were in one of those
yeah,
roundabouts.
and I should have not held it in the stall. I should have just kept flying into that grassy field where we had taken off from. But I was like, oh, I could just slowly bring it down. So as soon as I stopped moving forward, that EFC was just done, and it just lost it. No more left. And as you know, that Xeno 2 Plus is an 800, 900 gram drone. And it's freaking heavy. It will definitely.
It hit hard. It hit hard. And what did it break? What'd you repair on it now?
I ended up having the power distribution board on it went out on it. And so when you plug it in, it never even initialized. It just because that board was gone, and so the power distribution to all the other printed circuit boards were gone. So no initialization occurred. So when you plugged it in, the bootloader is like, I can't load because I don't have power.
Yeah, that's a video. That's something that I would like to see you make as a video when all the we had the pandemic hit us. We had the Black Lives Matter, all the political stuff going on. And me and Al were actually on Monument Avenue flying around all those statues. We actually flew before it even started. So we have that footage. We have footage when everybody was writing graffiti on stuff, trying to pull the monuments down. And then later they pulled down one of the main monuments and they found 2 time capsules. One was made by the guy that built the cement. I don't know why he had his. And then they found the original one from, when was it, Al? 18 something?
Yeah. And when it was donated, it was the late 1800s, because by then the Civil War was over and it was time to put everything back together in Richmond. So the people that owned that land donated the land to the city, and the clause was that they had to protect the statue, which
right.
The
and
mayor,
there was a lot of political behind that because
the mayor,
the family didn't take that property back because of break of contract.
Yeah, because it was so the city doesn't own the land. The city is just a guardian of the land.
Right.
And so the family did not want any of that controversy going on. So they were basically saying to the mayor, protect the property, and the mayor would not. And it got overrun, remember, with tons of graffiti. The whole city was out of control. And the leadership, leadership in that city was just, and it's still not correct. Most cities in the U.S., sometimes the leadership is just like so wacky because all they're interested in is staying in control of the power, right?
Yep.
And so if they diss the Black community, then they will no longer be in power. But at the same time, they're trying to protect their property and not diss the population that supports them.
Yeah.
So it was amazing.
I got double feelings about that because
Me too.
I think it's right to take the stuff down for the respect of the people that it offends. I believe that because they're us. They're our brothers and sisters. But on the other hand, I don't like it that they took down some of the history because even though there was some bad history behind it, I know people that are in Nashville that their families, and I'm talking some of the families were Black, they fought in these wars. Without them, it would have turned out a lot different. So it's not just that on the slavery end, but it was on the fighting end too. And I would be proud to say my great grandfather fought in this and stood up. I would be proud to say that on that. So I've got mixed emotions, but just for the part of just, showing respect, I think they did the right thing by taking the stuff down. I mean,
I,
no matter what, we're all Americans at the end of the day, no matter where we live. Hell, I'm in Thailand. I've had people say, why do you live in Asia? Well, I live here. Sometimes, when you have your buddies in college, y'all hang out and drink beer, and then the first one gets married and he moves to a different state. You don't see him anymore. This one moves. I just happen to move to a different country. Am I here forever? No. In 3 years, me and my wife will be living back in the USA when she retires. But until then, we're eating sushi. That's it.
Yeah, whatever the meal of the day you can get at the local market, right? I remember
right.
when I was,
and it is a local market every single day.
Every day in Guatemala, my father would instruct, or my mother would instruct the people that he would hire to go and negotiate and get dinner.
Right.
It's not like,
and he didn't have to
and
go.
It comes with
he didn't go
live,
to a store though. Yeah, he didn't have to go.
It comes live, hanging upside down.
Yeah, they didn't. We don't go to Walmart here and get our food. We literally walk outside, and every subdivision, when you pull out of the subdivision on the main roads, everywhere you look, there's like houses with open garages, and they've got like a yard sale out front with all their different fruits and vegetables and stuff they grow. So here it's like you never run out of food. I could put my shoes on and literally walk 1 minute out and buy anything I want to buy to eat right here, anywhere in the country that I'm at. So it's different, and at a fraction of the cost too.
Yeah, and it's still alive, and you have to most of the time take
Some
care
of it's scary. It's different. In Guatemala, when I was in Costa Rica, their food is, and it's funny because it's like chicken is always big in all these countries, and pork is always big. For me to go out and buy a burger, like I'll tell her, hey, I want to make some hamburgers tonight. She'll bring home pork, and I'm like, honey, that's not beef. Well, they don't have beef. It's like very hard to find here. It's imported because they don't have a lot of cows here. Now I can go to McDonald's all day long in restaurants and get burgers, but the burger may taste the same. But when you buy a steak, you're like, you don't want to eat another one. Other than that, the other food is good. But the biggest thing that I found to weight loss so far, because I have lost quite a bit of weight lately because I have been sick, is they make crap so hot over here when you eat it that it's like you're just like, you don't want to eat anymore. And I know y'all think that's funny because you're like, oh, Robbie, you're a wuss. You just can't take hot foods. Al, you're Guatemalan. You can take hot foods because my wife can sit over here and eat something, and I think, oh, cool. So I grab a mouthful of it. Dude, I'll go through a gallon of water, and I look at her. She weighs like 105 pounds. Not even breaking a sweat. And I'm just like, how do you do it? And she's like, it's just they start so young. They've got these little peppers that are a little bit bigger than a grain of salt. They're green and red, and they're hard to see. But when you bite into one, I call it double hot. It's really hot coming in and double hot coming out.
Are they round?
No, they're little. They're little, Al. They're the little. They look just a little bit bigger than a grain of rice. They're green and red. They'll throw them in foods, and I'm telling you that I've eaten. I went to BW3's one time, and I tried their blazing hot, which was a sandwich with the sauce. And my brother's like, "Be careful, it's pretty hot." And I was eating it while he was talking to two business people, and he looked over, and literally I was crying. The tears were running down my face, and he's like, "If it's so damn hot, why are you eating?" I'm like, "It's good, but it's hot." Dude, that ain't nothing compared to what they've got over here in a lot of the foods. So you have to be careful. Anytime they make these little balls that look like pork balls. And when you look at them, you'll see little green things in them. Never buy those. Beware. They're like a freaking hand grenade. When you eat one, they're hot. When you drink water, it makes them more hot. So here we eat cucumbers, and the cucumber helps cool it down. I have not found anything else that does. So
I would imagine milk does. Milk, any dairy products will neutralize the capsaicin. That's the chemical that's in there.
Right.
And the good thing about hot peppers is the body releases endorphins to try to get rid of the hot pain. So endorphins, as you know, is a natural painkiller. And that's why you get the runner's high. You get that high feeling too.
Right.
Hey,
well, it's different because, we eat a lot of lettuce in the U.S. Some people eat cabbage, and they've got something that's in between over here. It's like iceberg lettuce, but it's 3 times thicker. and it tastes like water. But a lot of times we'll eat that.
Now, does this look familiar?
Yep, actually, it does look familiar. I was really eager to see what you thought about it because look, now they've gone up. They've gone up on the price of this, if I understand. $150 more. Is that correct, Al?
I thought it was going down, but you're probably right. I have not been tracking the price, and I will from now on because I got vested interest in it. But as you can see, this thing is me moving around with my GoPro. This is rock solid, and I'm going to hold it steady. And I'm probably going to yaw it so it looks at the camera, if I remember right. Yeah, I did yaw it. And you can see how it's a pretty good. It's definitely, in my opinion, the mini drone of 2022 until probably DJI comes out with um, the next model. But it looks like this is just me standing around, and then I'm probably saying a few words here at the end.
How
But
did you
yeah,
feel about the How did you feel about the controller, the sticks? Pretty responsive, like DJI, as far as the way that it moves.
yeah, and I was confident enough after I flew it and took off there to stand right next to it with the camera like this close
Right.
and yaw on it in front of me, and I knew that I wasn't gonna having to duck. But I was ready to duck. I'll be honest with you. I was ready to duck. And that's why I put it up about a foot over my head. So if
Yeah.
it did lose his mind, at least I could duck another foot and still have a little
Right.
bit of clearance. Um, and the update the new update on the firmware took about 10 minutes.
Did it do it with all batteries? Because see, I had updated it before I sent it to you from over here.
Yeah,
So
no,
did you
the
have
new
to
update that just dropped last week. I think it was Friday when it dropped. It gave you that 24, 25 frames per second, which we did not have before. Now we
Right.
have the 24, 25, 30, 60 frames per
Right.
second.
Plus the
I
speed. I
still did
think the
not
speed.
see 120 frames a second. That I'm a little disappointed on because it is
Yeah.
a nice camera. But the other thing I'm disappointed in is that waypoints. I wish we had waypoints.
Yeah.
Waypoints would be nice to have. And
Well.
we were talking open source earlier, right? And most likely Merlin is the foundation that this front end, user interface UI is based on, because it's Merlin is what boots is the bootloader for the chips on the
Right.
firmware. That's the kernel we're booting, and we're just overlaying it with the interface, what we happen to call in this case the
Yeah.
Sky app. But it's a pretty good app.
Yeah.
I wish it would
Drone is
give
a
you the
big one.
gimbal, expose the gimbal controls to us so we can change our gain, we can change how fast we can pitch it down.
Yeah.
And that would give us that waypoints and gimbal. And of course, don't you all wish we had aperture settings?
Yeah. Well, the good thing is, I think a lot of it can be added to the firmware. So that's a big
Absolutely.
benefit because we're not limited to you know the hardware right now. It's a software issue. We have the hardware there, but if you look at the drones now, a lot of the features on the new drones. I mean, honestly, I think we have enough imagery through the cameras now that we're good. I think they need to concentrate more on software and features because I
And
think the hardware is big enough.
yeah, obviously the infrastructure is there, right? We just have to
Right.
paint better lines on the road,
Sure.
right?
And I
To
know they
get
don't
there.
want to put everything in one super drone because then when they
Because
try to put out another drone, people aren't going to buy the drone.
well, no, it's going to kind of erode some of the next drone, which is in this case the light, right? So they
Right.
don't want to put those features in and erode the bottom end of their market. Not Let me state it differently. it rode the bottom end of the Autel Lite
Right.
because now we're getting into the feature set that you have to spend $1,500 for. But
Right.
waypoints, everybody, a $200 drone is running waypoint. That B1
Yeah.
F7 is running waypoints. So yeah, I can see, maybe the aperture being not exposing that to the users, but
Right.
waypoints.
Yeah. Well, for
Yeah.
the people that are in the chat, what's going to be the next drone you guys are looking for? Any of y'all interested in the Nano or the Lite? Or are you going to try to wait for the Mini 3? Put in the chat what you like and what you're waiting for. Because honestly, I've said several times, and all you guys know, because where I live, I'm not big on the minis because I do need a little bit more power because of the high winds that we have here. But Al, when I first flew it the first time, I flew it just in the province here, not near the ocean, wasn't real windy. And, I was like, okay, it kind of flies like the Mini did when we flew your Mini and when I flew the Mini 2. It flew similar to the same. But when I got it home and put it in and look at the image, I was like, damn, this thing got a good camera. I mean, it really, really does have a good image when you just straight out of the box. No changing anything, just everything set to auto. When you do a video and you post it, and it comes out, you'll be surprised how good that picture is. So if you're interested in a Mini, I mean, my only give on that is at $950 or above for this drone
With
compared
the
to
3
buying,
batteries and a case and the
yeah, the full
multi-battery
thing. But
charger.
if you compare it to a Mini 2, do you think it's worth the price difference, Al?
Well, the
Yes or
Mini
no?
2 combo, yeah, the camera is definitely worth it. And I don't
Right.
care about some people will really like the optical avoidance.
Right.
I don't
But do you
use
feel the
optical.
camera is that much better where you can say, wow, you're paying an extra $300 or $400 for the camera? Do you feel like that?
Well, how much is the Mini 2 Fly More combo now?
Isn't it like
Because
six, something like that?
yeah, and you're saying you paid 900 for that, but
950. Yeah, 950.
nine.
Same price Johnny paid for his. He paid
Yeah, I
950.
don't think it's a $300 price difference in my opinion. Do you? I really don't, because $300 will buy you the Action 2, right? Or at least the buy you the Palm 2, right?
Yeah.
And that's a fabulous product, right?
Yeah.
So
I
I
think
don't
if I
know. I
think if
don't know if it's
Alltel
worth $300 more. Do you?
I think if Alltel would have sold it for $600 to
Oh
650
yeah.
for the Fly More pack, I believe they would have gotten more of their product out to DJI users because, dude, people know DJI. They might make a product that has some issues, but it's usually always going to be firmware. So it's going to be fixed. So we know there's so many people out there that aren't Alltel users that are like, I'd like to change, but am I willing to pay that much more for the drone? What does it have where I would be willing to spend that much more? So, a lot of the guys that are in the chat, we're droner guys. We don't own one drone. We own 2, 3, 7, 10. There's a lot of people that are on the borderline. And I'll be honest with you. I mean, if I had to buy one drone out of every drone available today, it would be the Air 2S because it does everything that you would want it to do. It's got the zoom, it's got everything on it that you would want in a drone. But the price tag is a little high for a new user coming in that needs to really come in as a as a mini. Although when I see people buying the SEs in the regular and they're getting 2.7K and not getting 4K, I'm just like, spend that extra because if not, you're going to turn around and like my brother. We got him the 2.7K. He upgraded to the 2, and now I'm telling he's like, maybe I'll wait for the 3. And I told him he needs to bump up to the Air 2S. He really, really does.
I mean, you can never go wrong with Air 2S because it's it does everything well.
It's the windage. Even during Christmas, I
Well,
filmed the
everything.
Christmas parade in Nashville, and when I did, dude, it was like, Al, we've taken these drones out in 20-mile-an-hour winds and flown them. Now
Oh,
I haven't
easy.
taken out. We've been in 10 or 15 miles an hour winds with your Mini that we flew over the James, and dude, it's a struggle.
Yeah,
It's a
it
struggle.
is. And you notice that the Nano 2 is got level 8 wind on
Yep.
Nano 2 and Nano Plus. There will eventually be a Nano 2, I imagine.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yeah,
Ray Kelly is saying that the DJI Mini 3 will be awesome. He just hopes the price is right. I'm going to make a prediction. Al, let's guess
800
what it's going
bucks.
to go for. It's going to
Uh,
be 800 bucks to 850 for the Fly More combo. What do you think? What's the Fly More combo going to cost?
it's going to be at least 100 bucks more than the Mini 2, in my opinion,
Right.
because they're going to put the sensors in there because Hubsan and Autel already are doing it, so they're going to have to compete with that market, and they already have the Mini SE, Mini, and so they got all the segments covered. They're basically going to suck all the wind out of the Mini market again, because they're going to take all that money off the table for $600 to $800 is going to be the price range, I would think, because the Mini 2 right now is $449, and the Fly More combo, like you were saying, is $599. So
Okay.
600 bucks. I'm looking at the webpage now, and I'll share it with you if you want.
When it comes out, I feel like, and Johnny made a good point. Johnny Drumflower made a good point when he bought his Nano. He wanted to see a couple of people get it first before he bought his, which was smart in that situation. But I'm really curious to see when the Mavic 3, when the Mini 3 comes out, how many people sell their Mini 2?
Yeah, you might as well sell it now before the exodus occurs.
Well, it's like the Mini now. You can find Minis all day long, dirt cheap, but you're still, and even the SEs you can find cheap too. But with the SE, you're looking at 2.7K.
Let me pull it up. But this is level 5 wind resistance for the Mini 2.
Yep.
So the Nano Plus has better wind resistance than this one. Let's take a look at you were talking about the Mini product line, the Mini,
Yep.
the Mini SE. I'm not sure what they're not showing it. Oh, there it is.
Yep.
There it is, right here. I did click on it, right? Yeah, I did. So the Flymore combo is. Do they have a Flymore combo? Maybe I clicked on the wrong thing. No, I'm on the right page. 249 grams. Let's see. So, what was the question you asked me, Robbie?
On the what? The Mini SE.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, the video is 2.7K. It's not 4K. And I
Correct.
was asking you about the price because I think the price is like $300.
That's the best value on the market today.
Yeah, the thing is, honestly, after they fly that, the first thing they do is, when I was trying to tell my brother, look, let's move you up to the Mini 2 from the Mini's, like, but I like it, maybe there's not that much difference until he got it. And then he was like, yeah, I can really tell the difference in the 4K video over the 2.7.
I told you.
Yeah, exactly. So I told him, I was like, dude, sell it. Buy the Air 2S. This is a solid. We just not had that many issues with this. It reminds me, I've got a friend that's from Brentwood, Tennessee, and he collects Ferraris. And he told me when Acura came out with the NSX, it looked just like the Ferrari. He goes, Robbie, it's scary. And I was like, what? He's like, it's an $89,000 Acura that looks like my Ferrari. And he said, I went and drove it. No one's having issues. It was like a car that Acura made that had no issues. And I'm like, well, what's your issue? He's like, I paid $480,000 for my car. And I could have had one of these. It's like, dude, you can afford 20 of those. But so that's the way the Air 2S has been for us. We all know that it's dependable. A lot of us I crashed my Air 2, and everybody's gone through the case. That's one thing that I would like to see people make. Make the gimbal parts. When these new drones come out, make the gimbal parts. Dude, I get more traffic from people buying camera parts from my TravelTech 360 crash video than I did. I get more people to watch how I took that camera off. Every week I will get 2 people that'll say, crash my drone, watched your video part 1 on how to take the camera out. Where's video 2? I'm like, it's just in reverse. You just put it back in. Although there is some software that you're going to have to program. And usually I'll tell them they're like, what do I do? It's like, I'll contact QC guy. He can explain or he'll fix it for you. But it's a big issue on these gimbals. The manufacturers will always want to sell the camera and the gimbal parts together to make the money. If someone would make the gimbal parts where you wouldn't have to buy the camera, dude, you would sell the heck out of that product.
I agree. And here's the Achilles heel on the SE is this controller. It's a Wi-Fi
Yeah.
controller.
Yeah,
And
you don't get the other one.
but the Nano Plus controller is the best in the market right now.
Yeah.
For the Mini.
I like the way you see the feel. You see it's got some weight.
Well, it's a game controller, and it's not that boxy thing that we see for the Air 2S or the Mini
Right.
2. It's so ergonomic, right? And you get the distance, right? It's definitely modulating its frequencies and is switching back and forth between 5.8 and 2.4 to get
Right.
that punch through power. And you're transmitting your video, your real video that you're seeing on your phone at 2.7K up to 1 kilometer. After you go over 1 kilometer, it'll display back in 1K. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's got so many things going for it. So that kind of technology is definitely worth money because, paying programmers to code and to be able to get these algorithms to understand that, hey, I'm over 1 kilometer and now I need to switch my video down to 1K instead of 2K. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
And they got it down to an art. They got a really good controller. I mean, the only negative about the controller, which is so silly to me, is the sticks. Where to put the sticks?
Right.
That's just, which I'm going to solve by 3D printing, just like Candomo has too. So, but I'll just print my own because I got my own 3D printer and I know how to use, CAD CAM programs. But I'm lucky enough that that's me. But there's a lot of people, Robbie, that don't like using these CAD programs because they're complicated and they're.
Well, I mean, I think they look at in your situation. You will use your 3D printer to make all kinds of stuff. I mean, heck, you made a thing for your dog bags, for your dog food. You can make anything out of them. But honestly, a lot of people are going to take the time to buy a machine, buy the expense to make one little thing. It's easier just to get on a website and buy it and have it sent to you. That's just
it is. I agreed. I'm going to share my screen again, and I'll show you all the things that I've made for my drones. And I'm going to show you more of my designs that I've done. And so these are my own designs that I've made for my FX4 4-inch frame. Here's my Peanut stuff. Here's Peanut stuff. Here's my phone things and my SD cards. And I got a bunch of other plugs that I've made. And so all these things here are it's been Duranified. This is my antenna holder. This is my GoPro holder. And then I got a bunch of bumpers.
How long does it take you to print those things out, Al?
Well, the printing is not the hardest part. It was actually pretty. This here.
But it's not an hour. It's not an hour thing. I mean, I've heard Brad talk like 10, 14 hours on some stuff or longer.
Yeah, like I was saying, this one is 79 hours. This one took 79 hours, so it took 3 days to print it. Yeah, that's a 3-day print. And this hand that you're looking at here, this one, this one took me about 12 hours. Yeah, because I got this hand model here, and what I ended up doing is cutting all the slots in there that the same dimensions for my USB ports and my full-size SD card, and then micro SDs here, and then this one's junk. And I took the hand and I just sliced it and laid it flat because it was standing up. straight.
Yeah.
And so it would, it was standing up like this.
I'm going to
So,
change the subject a little bit. Recovery One
yeah,
drone saying someone's looking to upgrade it should be for a better flight properties, not just the resolution camera. I totally agree. I mean, honestly,
the whole
even
package, yeah.
the white 6K on it, it does 5.4. Come on. But it says, everybody see that 6K? That is not as important. Honestly, I feel like if the camera shoots 4K, I agree with you. I think it should be more firmware, more software to
Fly
do different
faster,
stuff.
fly longer. Yeah,
Absolutely. Well,
I
I
agreed.
don't know if the firmware is going to help. That's going to be a hardware issue on the fly longer. But just I want to see them come up with something a
Yeah,
little
but
bit
if
different.
you're upgrading, that's what you want, right? You want a
Oh,
battery that
absolutely,
lasts longer.
absolutely.
You want to fly further, and you want to, film with better resolution, or these have better dynamic range and depth of field, and all those things. Yeah. It's so I've been having a good time because then I can come in here and I know that some of my prints have been failing when I crash because they put this stupid little notch in here as an example. See this little notch cut out, and I want to get rid of that, so I'll just drop a square in it and
Fill it
boom,
in.
filled it
Hey, let me
in.
ask. Recovery One Drones asking question. Then is how many people just in this chat are using that program? What program are you talking about? The one that Al's showing, or something different? Because I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything in here. Because in here he's talking about editing also. So just clarify that a little bit for me so I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty cool, Al. You got too much time on your hands.
Well, I mean, how long did it take me to just do that?
Well, Al, trust me, you just didn't open up the program and know how to use it. You spent some time. I know you.
Well, that's because my background, right?
Yeah.
So now I filled in that gap, and now this thing is not going to fail right there. And I'm not really interested in the weight. I want survivability right now. I don't want my GoPro to go flying off when I crash. I want it to stay on. So let's hear. Interactive said about the Power Director being very good with the proxies files. Agreed.
Look, because we've gone over on here, and we still have 10 people that have stayed with us to view. Let's give away a World Drone Community shirt.
There you go.
Al, I'm gonna send you a number so you'll know it. Let me get my private chat open over here.
Okay.
Make sure you got it there.
Private chat testing.
Okay.
Sure.
I sent the number over to you. So guys, give me a number between 1 and 50, and we're going to give away a World Drone Community shirt. Mail it out to you. So start picking your numbers between 1 and 50, and somebody's going to get
lucky, man.
That's right. This will tell us who left it on and is not watching, and actually who's here. But somebody will win a shirt.
Oh my gosh! Here we go. Drawing out your vision.
Dude, it all popped up at once.
Oh, and look at JSK Enterprises. Oh man, we are so close to a winner, guys.
And we've only got 10 people, so
yeah,
I guess you're gonna have to pick. You're gonna pick multiple, but don't pick multiple numbers in the same chat. At least take the time.
I can tell you this: JSK Enterprises got it. He's been dancing around the number.
Did he get it?
No, he went all the way around it. Who's got 10 here? Who said 10? AZ Drone Dude. Oh man, it's between those two, JSK and AZ.
Okay, let's broaden it down a little bit, guys. Pick a number between 1 and 20. How's that? Does that help you?
Okay, that'll do it. I'm still looking. 21, 14, 32, 12. Oh, you're getting close, man. You're so close.
It's 16. Like some fireball numbers here.
10. Oh, come on. Aces, man. Think aces. Pair of aces.
Now we may not have to give one away this week.
Holy cow, they haven't hit it yet. Keep going, guys. Keep going. You're so close. Somebody's just going to start counting. There it is. AZ Jones,
Exactly.
dude. Ah, and Charles Hallmark has said the same thing. Oh,
Okay,
Charles,
we got it. We got it.
AZ got
Charles Hatmaker won.
it. Yeah, AZ got it. I'm calling it. Charles, sorry, dude, man. He beat you by half a second, man.
Who got it?
AZ Drones. AZ Drones, and then Charles Hatmaker came in second. You see that at 8:46 p.m. 8:46 p.m. You'll see AZ Drone hit 11, and then Charles Hatmaker hit 11 too. Dang. So soon.
So who won? AZ Drone.
AZ Drone's got it. Hey, so contact Robbie or myself. Emails are in our channels, but you can put them in here either way. It doesn't matter. Or just hit us up on Messenger or YouTube.
Here, I put the email in the chat. Send me your size and the mailing address, and we'll get that sent out to you.
And I think I got it right. Correct. Yeah. Because I was watching live chat, and live chat's a big deal. You know, there's top chat and live chat, right? And live chat is live. So it doesn't follow the.
Well, I'll tell you what, let's do this. Let's be fair. Since AZ Drone Dude won, Charles, put your info in there. We're going to send you a shirt too. We're going to send you a shirt.
There you go. They both hit it. I mean, they were split second, man.
Give me name, shirt size, and mailing address. And if you got a cell or something in there, I'll text you over the tracking info so you'll have it. We'll get it sent out to you. And we got some other stuff we're gonna be giving away. We just haven't given anything away in a couple of shows, and thought we might sit back. Now we've got the drone meetup coming on April 2nd. So hopefully I'll be able to come back, and me and Al are going to start creating on the travel trailer that we bought that will be taken to some future events. It won't be at the April event, but give me and Al some time to hook them solar, and we're going to deck it out. It's going to be really cool, guys. When we get done, it will be cool. So, and it's been a while since me and Al got to hang out, so it'll give me and him some chance to do some flying and catching up on things.
That was so funny because I'm watching David Gray put in his numbers, and I'm going to go, dang, if he hits it, he's going to have to mail it to himself.
Exactly. Yeah, he makes it right there.
He's the maker. So, all right. Well,
okay. Well, look, we ran way over, and we appreciate. We appreciate the 10 people that are still sitting in this chat. We really do. And we'll get those shirts out to you.
33.
Ray, buddy, you're a little bit late.
Hey, you got a pair of threes though, buddy.
Yeah, that's
but
right.
Robbie was thinking pair of aces, man. He got
exactly.
Right.
Okay, guys. Well, look, we'll see y'all next Monday with our special guest. Don't ask who it is because maybe we don't know, but we will have a guest next week. And we're going to have another giveaway next week, but it's going to be something bigger that you guys should be interested in. So come back next Monday, same time. And until then, we'll see you guys on the next show.
Peace, love.